Hello, everyone. This is DARYL Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. This video today is titled, Is Not Crashing Yet, that term, not crashing yet, the new definition for quality excellence. I'm going to first read you a poem by Edward Guest. It is called Good Enough. That term is used at Boeing, Pfizer, Lockheed, Johnson & Johnson, and other automotive, electronics. Good enough. And here it is. Good Enough by Edward Guest. My son, beware of good enough. It isn't made of sterling stuff. It's something any man can do. It marks the many from the few. It has not merit to the eye. It's something any man can buy. Its name is but a sham and bluff, for it is never, ever good enough. With good enough, the shirkers stop in every factory and shop. With good enough, the failures rest and lose to men who give their best. With good enough, the car breaks down and men fall short of high renown. My son, remember and be wise. In good enough, disaster lies. With good enough, have ships been wrecked, the forward march of armies checked, great buildings burned and fortunes lost, nor can the world compute the cost. In life and money it has paid, because of good enough men stayed. Who stops at good enough shall find success left him far behind. We see that with Boeing. There is no good enough that's short of what you can do and ought. The flaw which may escape the eye and temporarily get by shall weaken under the strain and wreck the ship or car or train or plane. For this is true of men and stuff. Only the best is good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. We used to measure greatness in aviation by innovation, integrity, and relentless pursuit of safety. Today, I ask you, is not crashing yet the new definition of quality excellence? Because if it is, we've already lost. For over 14 years, I, DARYL Guberman, have been exposing the degradation of our nation's quality systems. For aerospace to defense and laboratory to automotive and other industries, from the manufacturers to the federal agencies that should have been our watchdogs, I have personally witnessed, investigated, and documented how Boeing, a company once synonymous with engineering excellence, and I am a shareholder, has allowed its internal quality systems and external quality systems to deteriorate behind the press release. You know what they say, safety and compliance. Well, let me be blunt. For 22 years, Boeing Commercial Airlines was not even certified to AS9100, an international quality standard. Let that sink in while they forced it upon their suppliers. While passengers and pilots placed their trust in Boeing commercial name, the company quietly refused international QA certification, AS9100, yet continued business as usual with our government allowing it. When internal audits stopped and corners were cut, the warning signs weren't just missed. They were ignored. Then came the MAX, the 737 MAX disasters. Then the door plug popped off on the aircraft Alaska. And now planes with loose bolts, missing rivets, and reports of falsified inspection records are treated like paperwork issues, not factual threats, but instead our national outrage. We got soothing statements like, oh, flying is safer than driving. Accidents are rare. Everything's under review. Tell the people who just crashed in the 787 aircraft over there in India. Let me ask you something, if I may, ladies and gentlemen. If a passenger jet hasn't crashed yet, does that mean the system is working? Or does it mean the time bomb hasn't gone off? America cannot lead the world when its flagship aerospace manufacturer treats quality as optional and government can't claim national security while knowingly ignoring it. Now, when Boeing's defense and space contracts tie directly into critical systems, including nuclear command and control, we are now watching congressional complacency in real time. Take, for example, Senator Richard Blumenthal when Sikorsky needed China's approval for sale of 2015? Where was Rosa DeLauro and Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal as Boeing's internal QA dissolved year after year? They were cheering Lockheed Martin for working with communist China. You can't make that up in 2015. They were there and they said nothing, but they were their cheerleaders, Lockheed's cheerleaders for working with communist China. Let me remind you, I've been inside those suppliers' facilities. I've done audits. I've seen what passes for good enough. And I'm telling you, Boeing will not regain its footing until they completely clean house, top to bottom, of the culture that enabled this decay. And I have not seen them cleaning house at all. Status quo. We were warned. Patrick Shanahan, who's now the CEO of Spirit Aerospace Systems and the former Deputy Secretary of Defense under Donald Trump in 2017, famously called the F-35 program fucked up. On the record, he wasn't wrong, and now in 2025, the very word that once shocked Washington has become a presidential soundbite. The language of leadership has degraded just like the systems they're supposed to oversee. But this isn't about cursing. It's about consequence. We've normalized failure. We've institutionalized mediocrity. We've built an entire empire on almost good enough. As long as the plane doesn't crash. I've tried to warn the public. I've tried to shake Congress. I've tried it through PRs, through videos, through all this stuff. And all you do is say, "Daryl, I'm still getting on the plane." And that's the way it sounds like. A Davy and Goliath moment. I spoke about COVID-19 lab origin, about U.S. quality oversight being infiltrated by foreign actors in 2015 to 21 and to present, about Lockheed and Boeing chasing profits over principles. And I am fucking sick and tired of trying the whispering deal. Now I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. So, I'll end it this way. A plane that hasn't crashed yet isn't safe, and we have the proof. The major medias do not want this out. I told them when I showed up on April 17, 2024, when I held those two pieces of paper up that said, "These are the supplier notifications, send in your certs, send in your parts, if need be, need arises, we'll show up," which means the plane crashes. That's what it means, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. A system that hasn't failed yet isn't functional. And a country that tolerates the decay is not leading, it's surviving. We deserve better. We must demand it, or America will be remembered not for its greatness, but for the moment it let safety become optional. I've been warning you time and time and time again. Boeing is not the company it once was. And in the future, may God have mercy upon your souls, because I've already warned you. 203-556-1493. And this is DARYL Guberman. I leave it here. I was going to stop doing these videos altogether because nobody's fucking listening. And as Thomas Paine says, from Common Sense, 300 plus years ago, when speaking the truth, it is many times like administering medication to the dead. And I know I use the F word. I am sorry about this. But when you have federal employees, up to including the President of the United States, use the F word, it has now become a national standard. And that is quality, I guess. That is part of the degradation of the quality system that we live by. Medical, aerospace, automotive, electronics, it's good enough. And if you think about it, go back to the beginning of this tape and listen to what Edward Guest said about good enough, because that's Boeing, good enough. Lockheed, good enough. Pfizer, good enough. Johnson & Johnson, good enough, and so many other companies, and our federal agencies, good enough. I thank you.